Hello, it's me, Mario.
Hello, and welcome back to the series we are tentatively naming Wookie Cookies. Um, it's
They're
going to
the
be named that
Wookiees.
for the foreseeable future because of the Wookie Cubes thing that happened in the last episode. I'm Game Master Karrakin, and we have Baal and uh, Venom here.
Phenom.
Venom the Phenom. Uh,
Oh,
Everybody should, if you watch the last one, you should remember their background. But just to give a little recap about what happened last time, uh, the characters found out more about the mysterious object and went out on another mission for the Master. And this particular mission sent them out into the middle of the desert, and they were forced to pick one of three different directions um, to go and find some bit of the a bit of plateau sticking out of the ground in either one of these directions, and they ended up picking one, going to it, and fighting through a hidden Sith temple. And this one was particularly old. They managed to find a few useful items, including a Sith saber, and somehow managed to escape by collapsing the temple in upon itself. After getting out, they remembered that they had been hearing lots of blaster fire coming from the exit, from the entrance, which had caved in somehow. And they looked down off from the top of the plateau, and there was this creature. And I put this into the Discord for the players to see, and it is essentially a very, very, very large, maybe 10-foot tall, sort of lobster shrimp looking monster that was its body was effectively just deflecting the blaster fire just off of itself. And as soon as they looked down to see it, it noticed them, turned up, looked at them, and started climbing up the wall. So our heroes started to book it in the opposite direction, and found another outcropping several miles away, and decided to try to find a way inside. They now stand outside of a cave entrance. The monster is only 15 minutes away, and they have to decide whether or not they want to go into this entrance or continue searching along the outside for another one. They've already passed one entrance by. Essentially, we have to decide if you're going to go up the side of it, go into the plateau, or fight the monster. And that is where we are starting today. So, what would you guys like to do? Iniri is eyeing the cave entrance. She seems to want to head inside and out of the bit of the growing sandstorm.
well, we're the rock cropping we're at right now. And with the desert, and it's getting to nighttime and how cold deserts get. I'm assuming the proper thing for us to probably try to do is get into the place. We need to go. We need to find a cave, and we need to go in it. Preferably a cave entrance that's small enough where the lobster guy either can't get in or has a disadvantage. So I'm going to start searching around for a cave entrance.
You guys are right in front of one. You had one that you passed by earlier. Decided not to go into this one, and this particular one is large, but not. It's about the size of the creature itself, and it goes at a steep angle downwards.
Do you think that Can we see if the tunnel gets smaller as it goes down, or does it remain consistent?
You have to just start exploring it. Remember, you have about 15 minutes, so you can up till about where you get to about 5 minutes. You can explore it until about then, and then if you wanted to keep going, you might have to just start booking it. But you can spend a few minutes looking down the tunnel and seeing if you want to head that direction if you want.
What do you think, Phenom?
I think we should go in the cave.
A man of few words. I like it. All right, let's jump in there. You first, Iniri, team leader.
What?
Damn right. Damn right.
Team leader? Co-team leader?
She just kind of nods and then walks down towards the cave and starts looking around in there and asks Baal to come up to the cave entrance with her to look down into the cave. She's having trouble seeing. It's pretty dark down there, and she wants to know if you sense anything in particular staring down in it with your Marilucan special eyes.
Ah, I am the sightseer. Hello, I will go. So I guess I walk up to the cave. Do I need to? I mean, I guess I technically have night vision, so.
Yeah, you have total dark vision for up to like 60 feet.
I peek.
Yes. So go ahead and do your perception check the same way you usually do it.
Do you want D100?
D100 and your force perception.
31.
You don't notice anything in particular about this path other than it seems to continue at a steep rate downwards and might get slightly smaller. But at this point, you're just looking down at the limit of your vision, and you can't tell if it gets noticeably smaller. This process has used up about 2 minutes.
I'm all full steam ahead. What does Iniri think?
Do you share that information with her?
Looks all good to me, my dude. I think that I should probably go first since I see things the best out of everybody. Let me go down far enough to see if this is an actual like tunnel and not like, hey, it's a little squeeby into the side of the mountain and then it ends. So let me go down, like take 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll like call everybody else down.
Okay. Go ahead and do another perception check as you move through there.
Okay. Oh my god. I did it on a goddamn D20. So stupid. 51.
51. Okay. You head inside, make it about 30 or 40 feet into the cave, and you notice that it does indeed start to taper inward. About 40 feet inside the cave, it begins to get kind of cramped. So if you, it started out where it was about 10 feet on either side of you. It's like a 20-foot wide. And then at about 40 feet in, it's getting to that you can reach out and touch both sides of the walls. The ceiling is only like a foot above you, and you notice that it's getting smaller as you go forward.
I can see you said 60 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
So does the tunnel end within 60 feet?
No, it does curve though. It goes forward, straight forward for a while, and then it begins to curve off to the right.
I'm willing to take that chance. If it gets this small and it's going to get smaller, I don't think the lobster is going to be able to fit through. So I'll go ahead and shout to bring the other boys down. Venom, Iniri, it's cool, my dudes.
Iniri makes her way down, being careful not to trip on loose rocks. None of you guys really have anything to see well in here with except for the mouse droid that has a little light on it and the plasma sword.
I put it on my shoulder.
Phenom?
Just following out of the storm.
Hey, Venom, buddy, you're big and bulky. I have an idea. I'm gonna give you the mouse droid. Why don't you go first? Because I am squishy.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll go with the asteroid.
Okay.
Okay, so
Make
what's our order of our standing order here?
I'll be right behind Venom. Sorry, my cat fell over. I'll go right behind Venom, and Iniri's technically the most valuable because she can heal people. So she should be in back, and she should be pretty well protected at that point.
Okay. In that case, you guys continue down to the cave to the part where you can reach on either side and touch the wall. And you are fairly certain that the beast is only maybe 6 or 7 minutes behind you. You hurry down. As you make it down into it, the tunnel begins to curve to the right and then winds down to the left into a sort of spiral pattern that you notice in sort of like a spiral staircase downwards, going further and further down till you seem to lose your perception of depth entirely. You continue walking for about an hour, and during that time, you notice a sound of scraping and scratching coming from behind you. It's getting fainter and fainter as time goes on, but you think that it's possible that the lobster creature might actually be moving through the caves.
Okay. Hey, Venom, do you think okay, so I have an idea. Now tell me if this is dumb meathead idea or if this is good idea. Venom.
Yes.
So I'm gonna fire my blaster into the darkness because it'll illuminate a little bit and we can see how far down it goes. Right?
Okay.
But if there's anything else in here, it might alert them to something else
Yes.
in here.
So, I like this idea, and I have a way to add on to it.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, Iniri said that the belly of this beast is its weak spot.
The crab.
Based on stories that you guys have heard about creatures like this, you can surmise that the belly might be its weakness, but just know that the kinds of people who would hunt creatures like this, based on the book, the little chip that you guys have that provides you with a lot of your information, is usually people with lightsabers or multiple droid level blaster cannons. So you could potentially, if you got close enough and it was restrained, you could potentially break through its armor with vibroblade, but it might be a kind of a long shot.
Hmm. And my next part of my plan doesn't make as much sense. So,
Hmm.
hmm,
Why don't we
as
wait to do
team
that?
leader, glares at Iniri. I suggest we do the blaster shot and make haste in our stepping down this path staircase thing.
Okay, so this staircase is it's curving along to the left, and it's in this sort of a lazy, winding direction going down. If you were to shoot it, you'd essentially be shooting your blaster bolt, and it would be bouncing along the walls going down. You wouldn't really be able to see much past the area that you're in right now, because it's just one continuous cave shaft going down. Do you want to shoot the blaster?
I guess. Let's
I
just
guess we
try
can
to
just
run.
keep going.
Yeah. Let's just run. There's nothing else we can really glean from anything else. Unless, yeah, let's just go. I mean, the blaster thing wouldn't even technically help me. It would more help them see better.
Well, you guys tell me what you want to do,
We would like to go down, but sure.
but faster. Okay, so every little bit here as you go down, but a little bit faster. For Venom and Iniri, I'm going to roll some dice, or have you roll some dice to see whether or not you trip and fall while you're in essentially pitch blackness. Um,
And with this, what dice are we rolling and what are we using?
this would be a let's make this a D20 and physicality. So
My
you
physicality is plus 14. So roll. I got a 20.
awesome. As you continue going down, you do not seem to trip on anything, and neither does Iniri. And you make it about half an hour further down, and these scrapes seem to be getting further and further behind you. You might be outpacing it, but the cave itself is not getting any tighter. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, I mean, where else is there for us to go? So we're gonna have to
Jump.
just push through it.
Okay.
We keep going.
Keep going. Okay. As you continue going downwards, for the next 30 minutes, why don't you guys go ahead and make the rolls? I'll roll for Ranieri real quick.
Same roll.
Yeah.
30.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm using a different dice roller this time, so for some reason it looked like she's a big bonus to physicality, but somehow the roll was under her bonus. Well, how does that make sense? But no, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. What did you get?
I got a 30.
Okay, so neither of you guys make it have any problems going down the path. And at the end of about 30 minutes of walking, um, let's say everybody go ahead and make a perception check as the droid begins to beep and kind of rev its gyroscope, so it's kind of wiggling around.
On a D100.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I rolled an 11, which was with my perception bonus, which is plus 10. So I rolled a 1 plus 10.
Fear not, sir. I have 104.
Okay. So Iniri and Baal both notice something going forward. The droid seems to have captured something on its sensors. It is making beeping noises that lead you to believe that it has potentially caught a message of some kind. And Baal, with your special eyes, you have caught onto a dark side aura coming from the area around you that you hadn't caught until now. It's similar to what you had encountered in the last Sith tomb that you ran across. Um, Neither of you guys really know how to speak droid, so it's beeping and it's moving. It looks like it wants to go out on its own. Iniri suggests everyone stop for a quick break.
Okay. Iniri, do you speak droid?
No.
You're literally the droid's best friend. How did you not speak droid this entire time?
But the droid's best friend is Baal.
That's who I was talking to.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I've just been kind of shouting and petting at the robot. I haven't really interacted with it.
You've named it, haven't you?
Moving. But let's, sir.
Moving on quickly.
Yeah, I suppose we can rest. I don't. Droid. Beep,
Beep, boop,
once.
boop, boop.
Beep once if you're gonna come back. Beep twice if you're not going to come back.
Beep, boop, boop, boop. Whir.
I asked for 1 beep or 2 beeps.
Beep, whir, beep.
I can smash you right now. I want you to know that.
Insistent beep.
All right, do your thing. Just come back.
Beep, beep. You set it on the ground?
That felt like a fuck you. I'm gonna put it on the ground.
It's gone. Zoom.
Cool. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Let's light a fire.
Do you have anything with which to light a fire?
We have. Never mind.
We have bulging charisma.
Iniri will remember this.
Times. It's
We
explosive.
need to wait. I'm gonna let them rest. I'm feeling fine. I need to be the one on the lookout because I can see and I have the best force senses out of anyone. So I'll stay awake. I'll let them chill out for a minute.
You guys all notice that as you got further and further into the cave, that the cave itself is very cold inside. But after, as far as you've gotten now, you've noticed that the temperature has kind of leveled out at around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's actually gotten warmer.
Ooh. That sounds good to me. I like warm places above cold, sandy, awful, rocky.
Are you saying that you don't like sand? Does it get everywhere?
You can feel it in between my fingers.
And cheeks.
Yes. but we don't have the high ground right now, so we need to go. We wouldn't want to overestimate our power.
There will
Anyway.
be no clapping of cheeks on this desert.
What the fuck?
Anyway.
Hear that, Iniri? You hear that, Iniri? Calm yourself.
Iniri starts walking down the path.
All right. This time I walk ahead because obviously I'm the only one that can see now with the mouse droid gone. So everyone needs to hold on to me.
Yeah, she's not doing that. She's just walking forward.
I'll
Hey,
hold your
Neri.
hand.
Hey, Neri. I want you to know you're being really difficult. And then I run ahead of everyone.
She lets you?
Physicality and speed.
Physicality, please?
Physicality rolls.
Sir, what light does she have?
No. Your physicality roll to see if you trip on anything.
How? I can see.
Yes, but you're in a cave, so there's like stalagmites and stuff.
But I can see them.
Do it.
All right. Let me find my physicality.
That's a pretty good Morgan Freeman. Not gonna lie. I mean,
98.
98. Dang it. You don't trip over anything.
Uh-huh.
You get pretty far out ahead of everybody, though.
Yeet.
And at a certain point, you stop running and roll a perception check.
Okay. $34.
Okay.
Hello?
So you stop running in a room with a flat floor. The ceiling is much higher now. It's about 12 feet high. The room has opened up into what is about a 20-foot wide room and about 40 feet long. There is dusty tile on the ground, but as far as you can see, there aren't any lights and no panels or input switches.
Cool. Means nothing to me. What else do I observe about the room? Is there any sweet, sweet wine?
Well, what did you get? You got 30?
34.
Then no.
I just know that it's a room with tile. Cool.
You know the dimensions.
Okay. I guess I have no choice but to wait for them. So I'll chill.
They gradually catch up, and everyone starts to explore the room. The room itself seems to be rather empty, and at the other end of the hallway, there is just blank wall. It's just a sort of a great hall that's been emptied of most of its basically anything that used to be there, and has no exit.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and rock up to that blank wall. Venom, what do you think?
I will follow you. I will join you.
Good man, team leader.
Which one of you guys has the
leading this
plasma
place.
sword?
He has the plasma sword. I have the Sith saber.
Okay. The droid is not there.
That's alarming. I call up to my droid buddy.
You hear a distant beeping, echoing off of the walls.
Can I tell if it's behind me or in front of me? Because I'm at the blank wall now.
As far as you can tell, it's not coming from the passage that you just exited from.
Put my hand on the wall.
The wall is damp and warm, but definitely feels like stone. The wall itself is smoothed. It's been very carefully maintained and polished.
Can I do another observation check to see if I can tell anything else that's going on in the room?
Since you're the only one that can see, well, actually, both Phenom and Baal, give me another perception check. But Baal, give yourself a -10, just because it's so hard for you to see right now, just with the plasma sword.
You mean Venom?
Phenom, yes, yeah, Phenom. I mean Phenom.
You want me to put a -10 on?
Yeah, your D100 roll, after your bonuses, put a -10 on it.
For a perception check?
Yeah.
Or
For
okay,
perception check.
well that would just so my perception's +10, so it would just be 0 before rolling.
Okay.
15.
What did you get, Baal?
76.
76. This room
So
is
perceptive.
infused with a low-level hum of the dark side. Is coming most strongly from the ground and on the wall in front of you. And it seems as though there is somewhat of a void in the measurement of the force along the walls, as if they were items that used to be there that are no longer there. The room
So
feels
it's kinda
incomplete.
Hollow feeling. Because of
I
that.
guess, is there spaces to put weapons or?
The walls are pretty smooth and they taper together smoothly, but the ground itself, the tile, is smooth enough. It has it's like stone tile, so there's there's area if you can like fit your fingers in between them, and down a fair ways. The ceiling is not tiled or smooth, however, and it appears as though above you there are the remnants of some sort of lighting machinery that might that if you did a closer look, if you could somehow get closer to it, you might be able to see if it's still functioning.
Hey, Venom, why don't you and Iniri investigate the ceiling? I'm going to try to maybe move some of these tiles on the ground, see if there's anything we can get from there.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first, the ceiling or the tiles?
I'm working on the tiles. Oh. So why don't you those two do their thing first? I'll watch and observe.
Okay. Iniri suggests that she could get onto your stand on your shoulders, Venom, and attempt to reach it.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I am strong.
She climbs up your side and stands on your shoulders, and the two of you working together manage not to fall down. And she reaches up and begins to fiddle with the bit of technology. And let's see what she gets to her roll. She fiddles with it for a few minutes. Your shoulders are getting fairly, it's beginning to hurt. And her boots are kind of digging into your shoulders. When she finally makes a approving noise and pokes a button, connects a wire, and lights in the room come on. There are 4 lights in the room that are stretched out in a cube pattern or a square pattern, and they all turn on. It's fairly dim, but all of you guys can now see perfectly. She jumps down and starts looking around the room some more.
I'm working on my tiles.
What else do Iniri and I see now?
Well, now that there is light in the room, you notice that there are indentations on the floor, and you know what it's like on a stone tile floor when there used to be a bit of furniture there, and the furniture's been removed, so there's thick dust on there, and then there's less thick dust where the thing was removed. You can see where there might have been different pieces of things on the floor. What might have been cabinets or chests or tall, could be statues or busts. But everything seems to be missing. The tiles are made of some sort of stone that you don't immediately recognize, but when you get the light and you can work on it a little bit more, it's a stone that is very expensive, mined off-world, and when refined properly, actually is able to deflect blaster fire.
Beskar?
I don't know, possibly. But
That's that good.
it is. So it appears as though this particular room used to be a vault room. But whatever was in here has already been looted.
Okay. There's no other way out than the way we came in.
As far as you know.
Okay, well, I get to work on digging those tiles, boy. There's nothing else for us to do.
Physicality.
Yep. $90.
Okay. You fit your fingers down into them, into the tile, and you notice that about 4 inches down, there's a crease, and you can actually pick the tile up off of the floor. It's very, very, very heavy, but you do manage to pick it up and reveal what appears to be a what appears to be sort of an escape hatch, powered door that was hidden under the tile. It's covered by at least 7 other tiles, so you'll have to pick those up. But it's possible that this could be an escape route.
Let's go, boy. Wait, where's the mouse droid?
Mouse droid's gone. It's not there.
Just living in its mouse droid world.
Yep. That's a good question. You look around the room, and it looks as though everything around you is just stone. You really have no clue where he could have possibly gone.
That little bitch. Anyway, I start picking up more tiles furiously with great anger. Venom and Iniri got to get on this because I don't want to die from sushi.
I'm hungry now. I like lobster.
Venom.
Okay.
It's a Sith crab.
Let's pick these tiles up. I'm
It's a
with
Sith
you.
crab. It probably has STDs. All right.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that it does have STDs.
transmitted.
Slaughtering,
Hold on.
slaughteringly transmitted diseases.
Oh no.
Yes.
So this is not a very
Not kill?
monster.
Should not kill.
No. If it kills you, you'll get an STD.
I would like to leave now.
And I can basically guarantee it'll be AIDS.
I am the squishiest boy here.
Let's
go. Can I use the force to pick up a couple tiles?
Well, you don't really have to because it doesn't take you very long. After like 2 or 3 minutes of picking them up, you are able to move enough aside, and the escape hatch is revealed. Now, it has these same markings that you don't quite recognize on it, and a little panel that was hidden by the tiles. Iniri begins fiddling with it and pokes a couple buttons, and the door opens up, and it opens up to what's essentially a chute that goes downwards.
Yeet, and I dive into it.
You dive into it, and I'll say what happens to you in just a second. But as you do, as the door opens, the mouse droid appears from one of the corners of the wall, towards that far side of the wall. And it's beeping and booping and wondering where its friend just went.
God damn it, Mark.
Iniri points to the
name
hole,
the mouse
and
droid Mark?
And the mouse droid jumps down just drives itself right into the hole. Iniri looks down the path towards where the monster is coming, and decides to jump down the hole also.
Phenom.
Okay, I'll jump in.
You gonna close that door? You good, fam?
Well, nobody closed the door, so it's open.
Shit.
And you manage to slide down this chute for a good 5 minutes, going downward. Before it tapers. It tapers into sort of like a slide, about a 45-degree angle, and then a 90-degree angle, and you come out and are dropped into another room. This one is fully lit, and appears to be a laboratory of some kind.
Ooh, laboratory. Let me look for some odds and ends. Something I can pick up.
Well, just then, as you start to notice this, Baal, you then don't happen to move in time, and Iniri and then Venom and the mouse droid all land on top of you.
Rude.
So
But I did so most gracefully, right?
uh,
With all my physicality.
possibly. Baal, you receive 4 damage.
Y'all look fat.
After you get
I'm stuck. I
unentangled,
can't go anywhere until they get off me.
after you get unentangled, you start looking around the room, and this is indeed what appears to be a laboratory. And in each of the corners of the room, there is a large vat. What look to possibly be Bacta tanks. But these tanks are housing creatures. They are housing quite large creatures. These creatures have electrodes and other wires attached to them, and they just float in the liquid. These creatures appear to be somewhat different from any other race that you've ever seen before. They are humanoid, and they're alive, as you can see from the readouts, but they are not human, and they're not obvious. They're not. What's the name for the? They're not Duros or any of the aliens from Star Wars that have the long mouths or something like that. They're not very obviously alien. There's something in between there. But it's hard to tell exactly what they are.
Slightly deformed and scarred.
Each one of these, 3 of the 4 are horribly scarred and mutilated bodies floating in the fluids, and they look all as if they all appear to be male, and they all appear to be quite old, potentially in their mid 60s or 70s. But also they look to be in phenomenal shape. The last one is a what appears to be a young child of indeterminate sex that floats in the corner, the farthest right corner of the room. The lab equipment is seemingly built around keeping these particular people alive. How long they've been running, you can't really tell. This is old technology, but it's also more advanced than anything you've seen outside of advertisements for back to technology from Manon. You'd have to do some more proper investigations to find out some more. On the far wall, opposite from where the slide dropped you, there is a door, powered door.
Hey, Baal.
I wish to.
You ever wonder about what would happen if we cloned a Mandalorian into a lot, speed up his aging, made an army?
I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. Wonder what this child is.
I think we could have an entire experience. We could attack different planets. You know what they would call the incident?
Let me guess. The Clone Wars.
No, attack the
That's why I'm here.
Iniri goes to look at the some of the equipment around the child.
Child. Why don't you look around for a second? I'm just gonna put myself on mute for a second.
Vina, what are
I
you up
will.
to?
I will look at the other VATS readings just to see if there's a pattern, because those are the three creatures that are similar, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Each of them seems to have a very consistent heart rate and other life signs, but they all seem to be in a forced coma.
Unconscious. Okay.
Um, Go ahead and do a
I
perception check.
will, 200 plus my normal perception now.
Yeah.
58.
Okay. Each of the creatures in the Bacta tanks are fully nude, but they are in small. Oh gosh, what do you call those? Footlockers. Footlockers near the bottom of their Bacta tanks are uh, sorry, my cat's bothering me. um, so in the footlockers below them, there is a chain, several sets of changes of clothes, and what appear to be ancient weapons that belong to the creatures inside the vats.
I would like to take a stroll to those weapons.
Well, Baal, why don't you give me a perception check, just general, to figure out what they might be.
100.
These are very, very ancient proto lightsabers. There are 3 of them in total, and they look like they are built to be short blades. So the Tonto style lightsabers.
I ignite one of them.
You ignite one of them, and
Yes.
it bursts to life for a few seconds in an orange color before sputtering and going out.
What? What's wrong with that?
I go over and ignite the other 2.
Both of them sputter and go out after a few seconds, but the ones that you have, Phenom, are red and yellow.
Do you think we could... Hey, Neri, do you think we should get these guys out of here or just take their stuff and go?
She's reading some of the text coming out of the screens and looking at through some of the clothing, and she says to you that she's not entirely sure. This script is something that she's seen in the other tombs and in the data chip that you have been using for extra information. These could be... it's very possible that these could actually be some of the original Sith. However long they've been there, you have no idea. But Sith purebloods are a very rare race of creatures. These older Sith could all be nobles from the kind. They could be force sensitive or not. She's not entirely sure. But they all look like they are incredibly powerful warriors. They're preserved here for some reason. And whoever it is that took everything from above in the above area did not seem to find this. They were supposed to be preserved for how long, she can't tell. There's probably a mechanism in there that will release them after a certain amount of time. It's possible that you could take them with you, but what are you going to do when the Master finds you again? Are you going to show him the Sith? Are the Sith even going to cooperate? Will you be able to understand them when you release them?
I look around for any food because I am famished.
Well, with your previous score, perception score, you look around the room and find a box that has like a big refrigerator box. And opening it up, you find a bunch of different rations that are made from substances that you assume were available on Korriban far back in history, but no longer, since there's not much agriculture left on Korriban. Eating it, you are full, but it's not something you've ever tasted before.
I take some snacks for the road and grab some seeds if I can.
They are indeed a few mason jars worth of multicolored seeds.
By the way, are Iniri and I joining in on this delicious feast?
If you want to,
I do.
then both of you guys do.
We
You
need our
also begin to hear what sounds to be scratching and scritching.
Well, I feel like at this point, we need to get the Sith out of here or they're going to die. And I still have just enough care for human life or alien life, I suppose, to be like, hey, that thing is right here. We should probably get these guys up. Like, we need to make a decision if we're abandoning them or taking all the shit and running.
Phenom?
What do you think, Iniri?
First, let's hear from Phenom.
I mean, I have no arguments on that. It's we're definitely taking these weapons to repair.
Iniri, why don't you guys run one more perception check?
$91.
And Baal?
82.
Both of you guys notice as Iniri begins to go through the things of the young female, and she puts something from several items from that into her tunic. She
Iniri,
turns. What?
What you doing, Iniri?
What you got there?
Don't have anything. I suggest that if we are going to release them, we do that right now. I might be able to fiddle with these controls and get them, but I think that somebody should be potentially exploring what's on the other side of this door while I do that.
That'd have to be me since I'm the one that can see down here.
Well,
Sure.
it depends if there's lights on the other side or not, but this room is fully lit.
Okay, well, let me out on the other side.
She opens the door for you, and it's a long hallway that is fully lit by sort of like very cool lights. It's not a very warm light. Everything looks very sterile beyond that.
I pull Venom aside to
Yes.
an area where I know Iniri can't hear, and I say, "Make sure you find out what she took, and that those guys get out of there in one piece."
I nod.
All right, buddy. Bulging charisma and all. Chip, chip, and I run in.
The long corridor. The ground is made of a metal grate. There are supports, metal supports going down the hallway that are holding up the rock above you. And it's about 60 feet to another door. But before you open that door, Venom, Iniri is fiddling with the controls and seems to be getting somewhere. Is there anything that you want to do before stuff starts happening?
For me?
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to do specifically before stuff starts to happen?
No, but I just keep an eye on Iniri
Okay.
to see if anything happens with what she took.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, as you get to the far door, Baal, the pods, all four of the pods open, and the creatures inside fall onto the ground as the liquid is discharged onto the floor. After a moment, there's an electric shock, which seems to knock them out of their coma, and they start sputtering and coughing and looking around, trying to figure out what just happened. The three large males, all seeing you, grab at their footlockers and attempt to get their weapons, and finding none, get clothed and begin to walk towards you menacingly. But just as that happens, the forelegs of the Sith Beast exits the tunnel, and everyone turns to see that, and Iniri grabs the plasma sword attempts to grab the plasma sword out of your hand, Venom, and do you let her take it?
No,
No?
this is mine.
Okay. She then
But
lets go.
I have two other of the lightsabers.
Well,
Those
yeah,
don't work,
she
But
tosses
they don't work.
she tosses both of her vibroblades at two of the giant men, and picks up the young female and begins to head down the corridor. They catch them in midair and turn to look at the Sith Beast as it begins to extricate itself from the hole, and everyone decides to follow you. Venom, I'm assuming you're going to follow them?
Yeah.
Okay, as you make it through the door closes behind you, and you begin to hear very, very loud banging noises. Now, switching back over to Baal, you start to hear this as you get to the door, and the door opens, and you are greeted by another large room. This particular room is not well lit, but you can tell that this room is massive. Absolutely massive. You turn a corner and press a button on a touch sensor, and lights begin to come on. and you see that it's a hangar.
Ship.
Yes, it appears so. And this particular hangar is has a large shuttle in it. Now, this is a shuttle of Sith design. Very distinctly old Sith design. This is from the ancient Sith Empire period, and I will find a picture of that to place in the chat for you guys. But it appears to be a working ship. Above you, there is there's a large door that you assume is the way you'd exit out of this area.
I call dibs on the ship, and I see if I can find any external control panels that'll open up the big old hatch.
Perception check.
49.
Um,
38 for me.
Okay, so I just dropped what the ship is into the chat. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. You poke around on the outside, and there is a small data entry port there where you are able to poke a couple of buttons, and the ship's rear end opens, and everyone is able to climb inside. Is there anyone here that's a pilot? Has any piloting experience besides Iniri?
I do not. What about you? You know,
I wouldn't assume so.
I want to say I have some.
Yeah,
I remember escape plans we used to hatch. You be the pilot and run. I sit there and look charismatic.
Iniri sits down into the flight seat, and one of the men sits down next to her in the co-pilot seat, and they begin to fiddle with the controls. The great door on the other side of the room opens up, begins opening slowly. Behind you, the door that you just came through is beginning to be beaten open by the beast. As the door opens up fully, the door is fully beaten open, and the beast comes hurtling out, running straight at the shuttle. You have one chance here to try to do something to distract it or to put it off. Otherwise, it's going to very quickly get into melee range of the ship.
Hey, Iniri, get us the fuck out of here, boy. I would like to leave.
Phenom?
Are there any blaster turrets I can jump into, or is it kind of just like leave now?
Well, go ahead and do a perception check. You are you're not quite sure you understand the language here, but you are able to search around for it.
85.
You find look over Iniri's shoulder and push a button, and you see that you hear a blaster turret pop open from the bottom and begin to whir around. You hear it begin to open fire, and the beast, startled, is blasted backwards towards the towards the cave door. You're able to see from some security cameras on the outside that it took a direct hit. The gun is blasting away from it, but it isn't really doing a whole lot of damage, just keeping it down. Iniri and the Sith lift the craft into the air and fly it forward through the door and up a long channel that opens through the plateau, and you are out into the night.
We need to go to space because there is not a single place we could go to right now that isn't directly hostile. It would try to kill us and or maim us.
Iniri begins to have a difficult conversation with her co-pilot, and you don't really know what they're saying, but it seems like Iniri is suggesting that they do what you just suggested, but the Sith is obviously not really having that at all.
What can we decipher what his plan is then?
He keeps pointing at the ground.
That we need to land, perhaps.
Iniri turns to you and you two and says, he's saying, I think, that we can't go into space right now. The ship's not ready. Looks like we took off before it was fully prepared. I don't really want to land anywhere near here, though, just in case that thing gets back outside. So I think we're going to take it a couple of kilometers down the way here, and then we're probably going to have to work on it all night.
Baal, what are you thinking?
I try to do a dance to convince the Sith to go up.
Is that something you want to roll for, or?
Sure, why not? If I can seduce the ocean, I can convince these fools.
You did seduce the ocean. So we'll see how that works. I guess do a social D100.
What are modifiers for that?
Well, before we restarted the series, I remember you doing several social roles. Yeah, in the Wookie thing, you did combat roles where you told everybody to calm down. How did we end up doing that? That's what we should do here.
I'll just like a +4. That seems fine for that sort of thing.
Okay.
+4 for social rolls or whatever on a D100. It's not a big enough bonus, but it's something I've done before. So, does it sound okay?
Okay.
I got a natural 100.
Absolutely wonderful. He seems to understand what you're saying, and he takes the wheel and flies the ship, flies the shuttle several kilometers away, and then sets down, getting back up and making motions at you that he needs to start working on the ship.
I give a big old thumbs up.
And one of the other Sith comes over and starts interviewing Iniri, as Iniri gets up from her flight seat and begins to use to examine the young Sith. This is kind of an awkward situation because you're not really sure how to communicate with them, and they seem to know a lot more about the ship than you do, but how exactly are you going to control the situation?
Bulging Muscle Man, why don't you tell me? Venom?
I'm just not sure what to do in this situation.
Well, if you want to, you could just wait for them to finish.
That's what I will do.
I hand one of them a data pad, maybe, see if that can help at all.
Iniri accepts the data pad and starts looking through it, but she is before she starts looking through it, she is examining the young Sith woman and talks to the Sith that was nearest by for a few moments, and then begins using Force Heal. The young Sith had apparently at some point during the ride stopped breathing, and she was able to restart the breathing process and help them help her awake again. And once they were all situated, she begins to look through the data chit and working on the ship. Several hours pass by as they ready the ship, and the Sith, who seem to get used to the language a lot faster than any of you, begin to speak a few words in Basic to communicate the fact that they need to know more about what year it is, what's happened in the recent past, and when they could expect to be returned to their people.
Well, I have a shock for them. I have never seen their people before at all. I know because I'm blind, that's not really a surprise. But like, I think they might be endangered.
You say that, and Iniri kind of fills them in, and they get very, very agitated. And they communicate that they are going to take the ship, and they are going to go to they're going to go off planet to try to find where a remnant of their people might be.
All right, well, I have no issue going with them.
Oh, they're
Literally
not
any-
including you at all.
Excuse me, we woke you up from a hole. We are coming with, my dude. I can I explain to them our situation?
You can indeed explain to them your situation, and they seem to understand and express interest in this master. They also seem to, if you decide, you can tell me if you decide to share this information or not, but the information on the other ship that you found somewhere out there in the wastes.
Oh, this isn't the same. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll give them information on the other ship. I'll make them a deal that if they can help us um, find that other ship, I will give them this Sith saber. And I pull out the saber and I show it to them.
They, he the leader reaches out and reaches out to grab it from you so that you can examine it.
Okay.
He takes it into his hand and examines it and asks you where you found it.
Like a Sith cave thing. There was this guy holding up the ceiling, and there was this dude in armor. I mean, Venom's wearing the armor. You can just look at him, like
He turns and
he's
looks at Venom a little harder and hands the saber back to you and suggests that that he doesn't need he doesn't actually need the saber. What he needs is the ship. He politely declines your offer.
so he won't help us find the other ship that I told him about.
No. He's interested in the other ship, but he doesn't need the saber.
Okay, but like, they already have a ship.
Yes, they have this ship.
I would like the other ship.
Yes,
Aren't
and
they-
they like the idea of having that ship too.
That's really intriguing and all. How about we go find the other ship and we figure it out?
They're a lot more interested in the idea of this master person and finding out more about him.
Why don't we find the ship first, and then we can give you all the information we have on the master.
The leader asks like where their lightsabers went.
We didn't find any.
He casts Force Insight on you. So go ahead and roll a D100 with your Force bonus and your social, and let's see if he can overcome you using that.
118.
Straight faced, you say that, and he seems confused and irritated, and then points his vibroblade at you, saying that no, tell us where the ship is, and we will go and take it.
Is he looking to get a little feisty with me and my boy Venom over here?
He is looking to maybe cut your head off, maybe.
Not if I do it to him first.
I'll make him a deal. If you can beat Venom, I'll give you more information on the ship. Venom is the
Venom?
best fighter. Right, Venom?
Let's go.
All right, let's have a little duel in the ship, buddy. Or we
Iniri,
can do that, I guess.
Iniri pops in and says, "How about this instead? The master has a lot of Sith artifacts at his area. You seem to be very interested in them. How about we take you to them? He has an extra ship. You can take his, and we'll just take this one."
Yeah, okay, sure.
The leader seems somewhat interested in that, and lowers the sword just a little bit, and wonders out loud why, again, he can't just torture the information out of us, out of you guys.
Because we ate Wookie cubes and we are now immune to torture.
Venom?
Wanted to fight, but solution makes sense.
Um,
But I'm ready to fight.
well, they're ready to fight too. If you want to fight,
I look over at Baal.
You know what? If he really wants, you could do a duel. Set it down in the sand. You could do a duel to um, submission, and whoever wins, we do their plan. I like that idea.
okay, okay.
Bring it on.
Um,
I'm fully healed at this point, so
he agrees. So, is it going to be a one-on-one thing?
how about me and Venom versus this guy, since he's so high in machismo mighty.
Uh, he smiles sinisterly and agrees, and opens the back of the ship. Everyone files out, and he gets into position, into his fighting stance, opposite you two. Now, note how much health you guys have and how many that your force counters are at the maximum. So
Okay.
this is going to be a tough fight.
Cool.
Um,
I draw my Sith saber and I have my blaster out.
Just to note, Venom, this will be your first time fighting with the Sith armor on. That is going to give you that's going to give you an extra plus 10 to your defense whenever somebody's trying to hit you and you do, for instance, like dueling with him. Then you'll use your skill swords, your dueling, and then you'll add the defense bonus from the armor, and it'll be a plus 10
When defending.
when defending. And this is upgradable armor, so you can find different weaves and layers to add to it at different points to increase that score. And you guys are using your two weapons. Now, the Sith Saber is, I think we talked about this last time, it's a essentially a +1 weapon. It has essentially extra sharp. It works the same way as a vibro blade does and can be used to defend against lightsabers, but he only has a vibro blade, so you guys are evenly matched weapon wise. So why don't you go ahead and roll your initiative, which is a d20 plus your physicality.
Got a 29.
22.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so let me write this down somewhere. It goes Venom, Baal, and then the leader. Okay.
We attack first.
You do, in fact, get to attack first. He is not entirely recovered from his ordeal yet. And what you can make the first attack.
I will. And I am using the vibro blade.
The
Your
plasma.
plasma blade.
Plasma blade.
Yeah.
Okay. Plasma blade. I will attack the leader dude. Way. That will be a D20 or a D100.
D20.
d20. I have my single blade bonus, which is +4. I have my dueling, which is +10. Am I using anything else?
You use your skill with a weapon, your dueling, and your physicality altogether.
Oh my, that's +28 altogether. Got a 41.
Okay, you managed to hit. And exactly what are you doing when you hit him?
I am aiming for his collarbone area.
So you're aiming for a specific spot?
Yep, I am slashing.
Okay, so in that case, that's a called shot, and in order to beat that, to make that hit, you need to get a better than a 10 on a flat d20.
Better than a 10 on a flat d20.
Yeah.
0.
Otherwise, you'll just hit
10.
normally.
10.
Okay, so you just hit normally then. You
One off.
You managed to slash him through his tunic across the collarbone instead. And go ahead and do your damage.
D6.
What did you say?
Is that a D6 or a D8? I forget.
It's a D6 plus 2 for the plasma.
7.
7, okay. Okay. That is a good hit. Now you have your second attack.
Flash upwards this time, aiming for the same area.
Okay.
Aim roll as before. 47.
Okay. Try to get better than a 10.
13.
Okay. You'll roll an additional d6 in damage.
So I roll 1 and then another?
1d6 plus your damage bonus plus another d6.
Okay, so is one of those flat, or are they all with the 2?
One of those is flat.
Okay, one of those is flat. 1. And then with the 2, 5.
Okay. Okay. Not so happy. Go ahead, Baal.
I dash to the side and shoot at his feet, so he will lose his footing in his stance.
Okay, so same thing. You be your normal attack plus your, and then if you hit, you'll do a called shot. So go ahead, and that's your shooting experience. Your shooting
My
and
blaster use,
what?
my blaster use, and then right.
Your blaster use and your blaster pistol, I think.
Okay.
And you can use force at any point if you want to add your force modifier to the shot.
81.
What'd you get?
Then we need an 81, and then I need to do a flat
On a
right?
on a d20?
No, you told me to. Oh, you want?
Yeah, it's on a d20 for the attack rolls.
Cool. I had +10 for blaster use. 13.
13 total?
Yeah.
Okay. That first shot, series of shots does not land. You have another attack you could do.
I'll do the same thing again.
Okay.
26.
That one does not land either. But he is definitely being forced to do extra footwork.
Cool.
And now it is his turn. And he is going to do a vicious downward attack on Phenom. And he will roll his attack, and he gets a 32.
Okay. And then I'm defending here.
Yeah, you're defending with your skill with blades, your dueling, and your armor bonus.
And my physicality?
And your physicality too. Yeah.
So I got a 44.
Awesome. Okay, so his first attack does not land. And this particular next attack, he is going to try to what is that called? What is that called? Disarm you. So he's going to do a called shot disarming attack. Coming back up and try to hook the grip of the weapon out of your hands. So he's going to roll again. He gets a 19. Wait. Okay. No, I thought he got a natural one. He didn't. Never mind. Okay, so what did you get?
Same roll.
Same roll again? Same number?
No.
Oh yeah,
what
same roll
I should
again.
be doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a nat 20 on top of my bonus, so 58.
Okay, you get a free attack.
Awesome.
Go ahead and roll your attack damage. Or go ahead and roll your attack to hit.
Attack to hit. Okay. Yeah. And again, is that with this same roll? Since I'm technically defending, or am I not?
Take off the 10 for defense.
Yeah, take off the 10 for defense, and everything else is the same.
Got 36.
36?
Mm-hmm.
That does not manage to hit him. He managed to parry that. Now he is going to take one more attack. And in this particular attack, he is going to try to sweep your feet out from under you. So he's going to kick out with his feet and try to trip you.
Wait, so he has 3 attacks?
He has at least 3 attacks.
Second attack.
Okay.
Right?
What?
Isn't this his second attack though?
Nope, this is his third attack.
Oh, is this third? Okay. Okay, so now I'm back to defending after.
Yeah. He rolls an 18.
I got a 42.
Okay, you just kind of jump over his leg sweep, and he gets frustrated and tries to do a force push on you.
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke? No. He rolls a 29.
Okay. And I would be defending with not the physical stuff, but the force stuff then?
Physicality and your force bonus.
Physicality and force and defending?
Just physicality and force bonus.
Okay.
Because it's, yeah.
38.
You manage to resist, and that's all his 4 attacks. So now it is Venom's turn.
All right. Is he still kind of closer to the ground?
Yeah, he's on the ground right now. He's standing up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to stab / slash down towards the top of his head.
Okay. What'd you roll?
41.
Awesome. You hit, and that's a called shot, so get better than a 10 on a flat d20.
13.
Awesome. Then you roll an additional d6.
All right, so I'll start with the damage roll of 3, and then the additional 4.
Okay. And your second attack? You're
Alright.
aiming for his face, right?
I was aiming for the top of his head first.
In that case, you manage to land a slash across the top of his head, and blood begins pooling across his eyes. So he's going to have a slightly lower score to attack.
Okay. For my second attack, I'm going to attempt to stab him through his ear.
Through his ear?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will roll 46.
You hit and get better than a 10.
19.
That works.
So the two damage rolls.
Yeah.
6. That was with the +2.
6 with a plus.
And then a nat 6.
Lovely.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You stab his ear off. It's no longer attached to his body.
I was going for through his ear.
Through his ear?
Into his brain. Yes.
Oh, through his ear into his brain. Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
it
trying to
doesn't quite do that. It deflects off of his skull, and you manage to take his ear off, and along with a lot of the skin around that area, and it's beginning to bleed. But you don't quite manage to stab him through his brain. You did a ton of damage, though. Okay. That is Venom's turn. Baal?
I'm going to force push myself off, like propel myself towards him, and slash him with the sword.
So like a forced leap, maybe?
Sure, force leap.
So
to cut
it'll
him.
be a forced jump, and you'll get that as a bonus to your attack.
Cool.
So your skill will force jump, and your force bonus, and then your regular attack.
2, and then I have. So I get a +24. Cool.
And you're doing this
30.
with your melee attack?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
30.
You leap forward and manage to catch him off guard, and as you land on the ground, your blade just barely misses him, but he is thrown off balance. So with your next attack, you'll get a +4 for him being off balance.
Again.
This one, you won't get your force jump added to it. And if you want to add your force, then you'll have to use up another force charge.
No, it's fine. That'll be fine. So it'll just be a +14.
Okay.
28.
That one does not manage to land. He dodges out of the way.
Cool.
That is your turn. It is the leader's turn, and he is going to take a wide sweeping slash that will attack both of you. First, he'll attempt to hit Phenom, and then if he's successful, if he's not blocked, then it will travel to Baal. So he rolls a 38. He got a nat 20.
Okay. And I am attempting to block
Yeah,
with all my stuff.
with all your
from
stuff,
before.
and hopefully
All the
getting a nat
defending
20. What'd you get?
All the defending stuff.
Yeah.
54.
What was your blank roll?
16.
Okay, so he will hit you. He just won't do his overflow damage. So it'll be a regular D6. He rolls a 3, so you receive 3 damage.
Okay.
And the attack travels towards Baal, and now you does a 20 hit you with all your defense?
I don't have a defense stat.
Well, in
written
this
down.
case, it would be your physicality and your skill with your weapon.
I guess I'll roll. I rolled a 20.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay. Then Defender wins, and you manage to parry him, parry his blade out of the way. Although the blow itself is very heavy. This guy is very strong. He'll take a second attack and try to stab into your chest, Baal.
Cool.
And let me switch back over to that and then give him his bonus. Not plus 165. I'm not. That'd be too much.
That'd be a little much.
27.
So how much did he roll?
He rolled a 27. Do you have dueling, Baal? Or do you have any skills for that?
I have +2 blade. That's what I have. I don't have.
Okay, so so just you'll roll your physicality and blade for your defense.
I got a 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll hit you with this one.
Yep. How much?
I'm rolling it now. He'll deal 8 damage.
Cool. I have 2 health left.
2 health left. Okay.
Oh my. Okay.
He'll do his next attack. So he managed to stab you, but it wasn't his. He didn't get his double, his called shot, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And he's going to swing at Venom.
With his
just with
attack?
regular attack, yeah.
Okay.
He rolls a 35.
50.
Did you get a nat 20?
No.
Okay. So his attack misses, and he gets frustrated again and attacks you, Venom, with a burst of lightning. So you'll use the same defense you did just now.
Okay. In my roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh gosh.
what did I write down for his score? Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. He rolls a 32.
I rolled a 39.
You catch the lightning on your blade, and it causes the plasma on your blade to arc, but you manage to deflect it, and it hits the sand around your feet turning into glass. That was his last attack. It was Venom's turn.
Alright. Well, I'm getting pretty tired of this guy, so I'm going to attempt to force pull him while slashing, like trying to stab him in the chest. All in one attack.
Okay, so you'll add your force power to it. Add your force pull or push. So your normal attack plus your force power plus your force pull or push.
Yeah. And the force pull or push are separate, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. I will roll that d20. Got a 55.
Okay, get better than a 10 on a flat d20.
Yeah. I got a 10. Again.
Okay, so you force pull him and you slash him across. So do your damage, and because you're successful, he'll be off balance for the next attack, which you'll get a +4 against him.
Okay. I got a 4.
Or damage. Okay.
And then in the second attack, I am so I didn't successfully stab him. Or did I like
You didn't
did it
succeed on your
glance
called shot,
across
but
his
you
chest?
you did manage to get him slashed across the chest, and you also managed to get him off balance. So you'll have a +4 to your next attack.
Okay. I'll have okay. Cool. And is that on the d20 roll?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will add that. I am aiming to stab upwards through his chin.
Okay.
I'm definitely going for
Okay.
and I rolled a 41.
You hit, and your called shot roll.
So I'll do the damage roll first.
The no, so the flat d20 roll.
The flat d20. My bad. 16. Nice.
That's good, and so you'll do your an extra d6 damage.
So here's the damage roll 6. That was with the +2.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3.
What'd you get?
3 on the bonus roll.
You kind of roboted out there. What'd you say?
I said 6 for the first roll, and then 3 with the extra roll.
Okay, awesome. You managed to get him really horribly across the face. Doesn't quite stab into his through his neck and into his brain, but you do manage to cut him up across through his through a part of his jaw. So it's like cut straight up through his jaw. And he just screams in pain. The scream quickly turns into a scream of rage, however, and he launches a attack on you.
Did
Venom.
that skip Baal's
What?
attack? That skipping Baal's attack? Or is that just a retaliation defense response?
Yeah, he's a Sith, so he every once in a while he gets to go kind of completely insane and get an extra attack.
Okay.
And he rolls a 24. He had a bonus of 20.
Okay. And then I'm defending myself here.
Yeah.
So 41.
So it doesn't do anything. And Baal, it's your turn.
Well, I'm just gonna load my blaster at him.
Point blank range?
Yep.
Okay. Then because you're so close, add a +2 to it.
Okay.
Whatever you roll.
$31.
With that cut across his face and him going completely match it insane, his AC has lowered, so you managed to hit him this time. So that is 2d4s worth of damage.
3.
3, okay. And your second attack?
I'll do the same thing. 32.
Are you attacking with one blaster?
I have one blaster.
Okay, yeah, okay, then that's right. Your second attack is what?
32.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage again.
4. They're stabbing me in the chest, you dick.
He recoils and yells in rage even louder and begins his assault. He is very focused on Phenom. And let's see, what exactly is he going to do? He is going to lift you up and try to lift you up in the air with force choke and try to slam you into the ground. So you're going to defend with physicality and force.
Okay.
And let's see what his bonus is. Here we go. He rolls a 23.
I rolled a 26.
Okay. You feel the weight of his force power as it begins to choke you around your neck. And you lift up like about an inch before you kick in your own force power and repel him. He recoils and swings at you one-handed in a wild swing towards your face.
Okay.
He rolls a 28.
And then am I defending with my physicality stuff now?
Yeah, your regular attack, yeah.
My regular defense. 55.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't get anywhere with that. And he tries to do the same thing again. And
53.
gets a 20. He's gotten the lowest rolls. Oh my god. He's consistently gotten below 6 in almost every one of his rolls.
Keep in
so
mind
far.
that I have, because of all the different things that I'm adding here, I have a plus 38. So that's why some of my rolls have been like in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he doesn't hit. He can't physically hit. And then he is going to turn his last attack, do a sideways flip and try to slash down across your chest, Baal.
I'm gonna force push him.
You're going to use force push to defend?
Yeah, I'm gonna force push his butt right out of the air.
Okay.
Like, man.
So defend with your force push and your force power. And he gets a 23.
Oh, my friend. I got a 42.
He goes tumbling, tumbling head over ass across the sand until he smacks his head into the side of the ship. And that seems to jog him out of his fervor. He gets up, begins to run at you again, but he's stopped by one of his comrades who seems very, very disappointed with him. And the fight is ceased. As you come out of that fight, you've noticed that this is kind of different from all the fights you ever had, because this guy was a professional fighter, and he had essentially just come out of a back to tank, so he was fairly a lot weaker than he would normally have been. So you guys take a look at what you use the most in this particular fight, and then add a +4 to it.
I would say my dueling was used the most. Well, and my single blade, but
you guys
just
are
overused.
you are exhausted. This fight has been incredibly difficult. Just to try to keep up with his energy.
His
But you won.
bulging energy levels. Some would describe as throbbing.
That's about twice as much experience as you get from a normal fight. And it seems like they are ready to take your plan. Now, what exactly would you like to do? What plan are you actually doing?
Figure that out on the next episode of Wookie Cookies.
Think this is a good time to stop?
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think.
Okay. Yeah. What are we going to name this episode?
Crab salad and Fighty Boy.
Okay. I'm writing that down.
Don't actually call it that. Come up with it.
I named the last one. I literally named the last one Wookie Cookies. So I might just name it that.
Just call it crab salad. That'll be fine.
Crab salad.
Crab battle.
Crab. Okay. All right. That's pretty good leave off point for me. Yeah. How you feeling about it, Venom?
I wanted to keep fighting, but
You silly,
it
silly
is.
boy.
Well, I think you guys made out pretty well. You have 3 semi-functional lightsabers. You have a group of allies now. Well, as long as they decide to be your allies. You have a ship that mostly works, and
Needs some
a
minor
couple of different
repairs
options.
to travel into deep space.
Yeah. So, when the next episode comes around, you'll have a lot of different options to explore. And I guess that's where we will end it for this week. I hope anybody that's been listening has been having fun. And this is, I guess, the Wookie Cookies finish for today. Bye.